Well, back to work in the dining room for us. The weather's completely changed, so we can't continue with the rest of the tunnel until obviously that eases off a bit. But it means obviously that we can crack on with the work here in the rest of the ground floor of the chateau. Now, in the previous episode, we got all of the insulation up in the billiard room and the plasterboard up in there. We just need to continue the rest now here in the dining room. So get the 2 layers of insulation in, and then we can look at getting the insulated plasterboard on as well, just to help with another layer of soundproofing really, and to keep some of the heat in as well. But that's going to be the process, exactly the same as the other one. So we'll cut all of the insulation down, which I know a lot of you said in the comments to cut the actual roll that's rolled up, which we did actually think about once we cut all of the insulation, but hey ho. So we've got all that cut now. We need to crack on with the rest, get it all in place, and then we'll have another full room, which will be fantastic. And then once that's done, we can look at getting all of the taping and jointing done in here to give us a blank canvas, and then we can start creating our next elaborate ceiling design, which is going to be good. So there's going to be a lot of mouldings as usual, and let's just say there's going to be some clouds, which is going to be good as well. So we'll crack on now, get these boards up and go from there. Well, that was one of the best jobs we've actually done here.
Well,
Playing with nice fluffy insulation.
it's awful. It's horrible. As you can see, we've had to have a quick shower
Yeah, and get changed.
and get it off because it is awful stuff.
Yeah, it's just horrendous. It's not as bad as the ones that we had previously, to be honest, but it is just so bad to work with. And obviously when you've got the mask and the goggles on, you're struggling with them as well because your glasses are steaming up because you've got the mask on, so you take one off.
Yeah, it is awful. It's horrible. But it's up. The good thing is, and you can hear the difference already in here. There's no echoing, is there no more?
No, just completely,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 layers up in here as well. We had enough to actually do the 2 layers in here, is the same as the billiard room, which is good.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put another layer of insulation on now, which is the polystyrene plasterboard. So in here, to bring it down to the same level as where the coving starts, we're going to use the 20mm insulation, and then I think it's got 10mm of plasterboard, and that should just bring it down to the right level. And then hopefully you won't hear a single sound when people are partying away in the dining room. And people are sleeping in the 401.
Yeah, that'd be good. It is good. You can really tell the difference already.
Yeah, definitely. It is good. So we'll crack on now, trying to get some of this plasterboard up and go from there.
Right.
Coming in?
Yep.
Well, we've got in here all done. We have a ceiling. Now, it sounds crazy, but it's a massive step forward, because when we take this massive step backwards, as it seems, when we pull the ceilings down, when we have to do all this work, to see the ceilings go back up, it's such a relief again, because it just means that we're closing in on getting done. It's so close to this floor being done now as well. So all that's left up here is to get it taped and jointed, and that's not that much more left to do in this room. The electrics are all on. We've got everything sorted, so it's literally just a case of getting that done, and then we can start with Terry's magnificent ceiling design in here, because he's going to be doing something really special in these rooms. We've changed tact a little bit in how we're looking. In here is staying pretty much the same, but moving forward the other rooms are changing from what we've told you, and that you'll see more of that in upcoming videos, because it's completely changed from what we've said we were going to do and the way it was going to be. We've completely changed. So it's good to have this done. It's a massive job done, and it's such a relief. There's 3 layers of insulation in here, so we can party to our heart's content, and nobody upstairs will be able to hear us, because we've put some really good soundproofing in this one, because we know that if people are down here drinking, having a merry old time, there's a bedroom right above here. So we have thought about these things, and we have done it practically so that in the long term we can enjoy times down here, and people can rest up there in their beds and be oblivious to the parties going on below them. So it's really good. But not only that, and obviously, as you know, we've been working on the tunnels recently, and lots of you have asked about the tunnel to the church. Now, as we've been digging out the tunnel outside, we've had to put kind of a pause in it because the weather's a bit crappy right now. So we've come back inside to get the jobs done in here that we can get done. But the tunnel to the church, and I think all this has done is it's cemented our belief that the tunnel to the church is down here. Now, I know it sounds crazy, I know it sounds daft, but this is the only place in the entirety of the chateau that has a built-up actual fireplace. All the others are set on the ground, they've got a hearth in the ground and everything. This doesn't, and we don't know why. Now, this was only, we know that what we've been digging out, the top layers of what we've been digging out in the tunnel, it's only from about 2008. Now, we know that because we found certain things that still had dates on them, and we've been able to date to the top layers of rubbish. But amongst that rubbish, what we found was a load of the bricks that would have been down here. Now, that would suggest that this has been changed. Now, if you think of big companies come in and bought this chateau at one point because they wanted to turn it into a hotel. Now, they would have to have covered up all these big holes, all these tunnels, because you can't have people disappearing in tunnels. You can't have disappearing falling down holes. So I think that's what they've done outside. They've filled this in because they know they can't do it. And they've chucked it all basically in the hole outside to actually fill that in to make sure nobody's going to fall down it. So we're going to do a lot more exploring on this one. I don't know whether it means that we're going to take this out. At some point, it's likely going to happen. It won't be this year, but we are going to do some more investigating on it because 3 different people at 3 different points have walked in here and asked about the tunnel that was here. So we kind of know that it was here, but we had no evidence. Finding all the debris in there to kind of give us that little bit of evidence. So while that's going on, while we're in here, Laura and Brian are back, just getting the gates put right again. It's so nice to see them going back up again. So let's go down there and see how they're getting on.
Okay, so that's in a good position.
Lower it down a bit.
Yeah, we'll lower it down and I'll reposition the crane because it's got a twist on it now. Not bad for a first go. Yeah.
well, it's amazing seeing all these back up and in place again. You don't get the sense of like how big they are until you stood underneath it and look up and see like how much work actually goes into rebuilding even just the original putting these up in the first place. So these are all done, looking amazing, nice and straight again, which means that we can use our gates again. It means that opens and closes and we can go in and out of this again, which we weren't able to do because it had pushed all this. We've got it all back embedded in, but there was one job that you might remember now. They had to, where the car hit, it came in at this side and it actually took the corners of the actual blocks off, so we need some repair work doing on it. So the next phase is going to be where the holes were actually cut out before. We're going to get them basically matched back up with similar pieces of granite and actually covered up so you won't even know that they were there. So that's the next job. So as they've been doing this, it's been incredible to see the techniques that they've used to actually build this back up again. Now, we've got modern machines, we've got modern tools, but could you imagine how difficult that this actually was in the first place to actually look at the size of this block? The size of this block, that's a good couple of tons. A good couple of tons, and that's a big lorry. So how have they done that? How have they moved this and manoeuvred these into place? Because again, that still probably goes down another foot underground. So what, 2-3 ton of actual solid stone? And not only that, look at the precision and how smooth and flat it is. It's just incredible to look. And we're so lucky to have Laura and Brian that have these skills and have worked on some historic projects before. They've worked on the likes of York Minster and stuff. So they are really talented and really skilled. And we are really blessed that they live so close to us. They're good friends of ours and have been able to help us out with this. And like I say, this will hopefully stand steady for another 200-300 years, as long as no cars come. And I've got another meeting to actually discuss what we're actually going to be doing to put some traffic calming measures in at the end of this road, because the signing is minuscule, and this is all that's going to stop you, this or some big trees, and something bad's going to happen at some point. So hopefully we can alleviate some of that. We're meeting with the local Marys and we're going to hopefully have something put in place so that this doesn't happen again, and this will stand strong for another 200-300 years, and we'll let Laura and Brian crack on with it. So Laura and Brian have done a cracking job. They've actually repaired all this back in, and up close, yes, you can see it's a repair, but as you're looking at it, you can't see that it's a repair. And such a good job. And again, the techniques that they've used, we would never know how to do stuff like this. So again, having people with their expertise to be able to come along and actually fix something like this and make it look literally as good as it did when it was new, we are absolutely over the moon. However, there is still some work to be done. Obviously, when the accident happened, it demolished all along here. This all had to be taken back because of the damage that it did, and it made this wall unsafe. So we need to get this wall rebuilt again up to there. And also, you might remember there was some ironwork that was in here that went down into the wall itself. And again, that has to be put back up and replaced really. So that'll be the end of the works here for Laura and Brian for now, till they come along and they have to do the next accident that we had as well and repair the wall a bit further along, which we're in the process of sorting. Now we do have another problem, and the other problem is this bad boy. Now this is a big tree. Now I'm assuming that when this plant was planted in the first place, they weren't assuming that in 300 years time it was going to start pushing over our other pillar, and we are at that point now, and we've spoke to a couple of different people, and we genuinely have no choice but to take this out. We don't have any choice because the damage that it's doing, not only just to the pillar, you can see here as well, the way that because of the root ball, it's actually pushing the metalwork and the actual foundations of this whole gate out. We don't like removing trees, but it's something that we are going to have to do just to preserve this, because otherwise we're going to lose that pillar, we're going to lose the foundations for the gate, it's going to push it all one way, and it is getting to a point now, I don't know whether you can see, it is over and it is leaning, so it's something that we've got to get done. So we've got somebody coming out to look and see what we can actually do with this. Again, we are very close to the road. Luckily, it can hopefully fall into our land and chop it up, and we'll sell the wood on because it's a beautiful pine, and I'm sure the wood can go to some good use, because seeing how thick that is, it's an absolutely beautiful tree. But that's all we've got time for today. We're pretty much at the end of the show, so hope you've enjoyed today's show. If you have, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you got the bell clicked for notifications. And if you are watching this video after the premiere, make sure you hype this video as well, because it really does help our videos. To do that, all you need to do is where it says comments, scroll along and you'll see hype, and it'll allow you to hype this video as well. So we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Come on, mister.
If you'd like to be part of our journey and help restore the chateau, then please join us on Patreon, where you'll be part of our journey, receive a piece of the history, and get exclusive videos.